The internet couldn't stop talking after Sabrina Carpenter did this. But here's the thing, Sabrina Carpenter didn't become one of the biggest names in pop music overnight. For years, she was working toward this moment while people were watching and sometimes overlooking her. Many people first knew Sabrina as a Disney Channel star. She built an audience through acting, but music was always a major part of her ambitions. And while she was releasing songs and developing her sound, the massive breakthrough many artists dream about still hadn't arrived. Then came a completely different Sabrina. As her music career evolved, so did her image. She became more confident, more playful, and much more comfortable showing her personality. And then came Espresso. Suddenly, Sabrina wasn't just another celebrity people vaguely recognized, she was everywhere. The song exploded across social media, streaming platforms, playlists, and short-form videos. But what made the moment even bigger was Sabrina herself. She understood how to turn a song into a moment. Her performances weren't simply about standing on a stage and singing. They had personality, they had humor, they had choreography, and most importantly, they felt unmistakably Sabrina. Then came Please, 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 Please. And once again, the internet had something to talk about. The song became another huge hit, and Sabrina's profile continued to rise. But here's where her story gets interesting. Sabrina had already been in the entertainment industry for years. She wasn't a newcomer who suddenly appeared out of nowhere. She had spent years acting, performing, recording music, touring, and figuring out exactly what kind of artist she wanted to become. So why did it suddenly feel like the entire internet had discovered her at once? Because Sabrina finally found the combination that worked. The music was catchy, the visuals were memorable, her personality was impossible to miss, and her performances gave people something to talk about. In an era where going viral can sometimes happen for just a few seconds, Sabrina managed to turn viral attention into something much bigger. She turned attention into an identity, and that identity became one of the defining pop culture stories of the moment. Her humor became part of her appeal, her fashion became part of the conversation, her stage presence became recognizable, and even the smallest moments from interviews and performances could suddenly become clips circulating across social media. That's when the internet really started paying attention. But perhaps the most impressive part of Sabrina's rise is what happened before the spotlight became this big. She had already experienced years of uncertainty. She had already released music that didn't receive the same level of attention. She had already watched other artists become bigger stars. And she kept going. That matters because Sabrina's success wasn't simply about having one viral song. It was about being prepared when the opportunity finally arrived. When Espresso took off, she already had years of experience behind her. When audiences discovered her personality, she already knew how to perform. And when the spotlight became enormous, she was ready for it. That's why her story feels different from a typical overnight success story. The world may have felt like it discovered Sabrina Carpenter suddenly, but Sabrina had been building toward that moment for years. And that's probably the biggest lesson from her rise. Sometimes people don't notice the work you're doing. Sometimes you can spend years improving while it looks like nothing is happening. And then one moment changes everything. For Sabrina Carpenter, that moment was the combination of the right music, the right timing, and a version of herself that audiences couldn't ignore. From Disney Channel beginnings to becoming a major pop star, Sabrina's journey proves that being overlooked doesn't necessarily mean you're failing. Sometimes you're just not at your moment yet. And when that moment finally arrives, the internet notices. And suddenly, everyone wants to know your story. So the question is, was Espresso the moment Sabrina Carpenter officially became a pop superstar? Or do you think her biggest moment is still coming. SSSSSSA